We're happy to see so many people here to come out and celebrate Kathleen's legacy and help us to dedicate the family room in her name. So I had the pleasure of working with Kathleen when she came to the Child Advocacy Center as its first director in 2001. And I was there with her when she retired. So I was lucky enough to work with her for 11 or 12 years, I want to say. And she really did leave quite the legacy. You know, she started off by just making sure that the Child Advocacy Center got started on the right foot, right? So everything that she did was the best that we could possibly do for the people that had to come to the Advocacy Center, those that we were serving here. She just made sure that we had them at the forefront of our thinking at all times. One of the fun things for me to see was when kids would come in and see her pull out her, her teacher persona and just welcome them to the center and make sure that they felt as welcome as they could be in an awful time in their lives. So that was really fun for me to kind of watch her, once she got to the point where we were serving families. One of the things I remember most about working with Kathleen was she was here early, well, in our old location. She was at the office earlier than anybody else and almost always stayed later than everybody else because she cared, not that the rest of us didn't care, but she cared so deeply and was quite the perfectionist. Everything had to be just right for Kathleen, and so she would stay as long as it took to make sure that that happened. So it really was, I know Sharon and I worked closely with Kathleen for years, and it truly was a pleasure to walk down the hallway and have her to, bend
This is a place that we don't like to talk about a lot because it is hard. Kids come here, they've either been, sexually abused, physically abused, witnesses to violence, so it's hard to come in here. But we don't want to make it feel hard. So when they come in here, they walk through our doors, they know they have a smiling face and a good room to come to, the family room. And then, we proceed with that interview. The interview room is just actually right over there. But so it's not, not too far away, but we really want to make them feel special and feel okay and feel like they can tell us what they need to tell us. And so hearing about Kathleen, it just makes me, sorry, I don't want to get emotional. I don't want to get emotional. But when I started here, I knew this was the work that I needed to do. And so to hear Kathleen's, the stories about Kathleen, I just want to honor her and work with those kids like she did.
But I didn't get to work with Kathleen, but I heard so many stories over the years of her dedication, her support, everything that she did. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for Kathleen. And I just think I was able to talk to her a couple different times on the phone and just enjoyed hearing the stories directly from her and checking up on the center and making sure that the Child Advocacy Center was still going strong and what was happening with it, and she called to check on it occasionally. It's her baby. She needed to call and check on it, and I was so thankful that she did, and it was just such a good feeling. And so when I heard that this was happening, it blessed me so much because I know how much it would have blessed her. When she put so much into this, she deserves to have this here. So I kind of wish we would have done it 10 years ago. Dang it, if I would have thought of that when we moved in here. I didn't, and so at least
early in my career, I was a part of the MVT, which was kind of an extension of the visitation center that she started, where we got to talk about kids who might be in need of care, and had lots of community agencies involved in that, schools, us, SOS, any of those kind of helper, law enforcement. And she was very dedicated. She took that very seriously. She got it started. It required legal work to be able to talk about kids without them being present, and so it was a lot of work to do that. My funny stories would be she was always a great cheerleader, so I could probably go on and on about that. But the first time I ever went in her office, if I remember right, you basically got lost in paper, which really shocked me the first time I did that, because I was like, this doesn't seem to be her personality, but it was everywhere. And then most recently, when she was at the nursing home, because I have an A for my name, I would get so many calls for I'd answer. I'd be like, Kathleen? you okay? You know, but she wasn't there. It was a, you know, pocket dial almost every time, but it always made me kind of giggle and appreciate thinking of her, you know, kind of that first thought. But she was a really wonderful lady, and I'm so glad you're
But
getting
I don't want to interrupt.
Right back to the hospital.
Gosh, that's a rough way to start this whole process.
Yeah, Cameron found it.